Is it time for Prince Harry to call off his legal battles? 0207 862 2222 is the number to give us a ring. Apparently his wife Meghan wants her husband to let go of the lawsuit and live in the moment. Earlier this year, the High Court ruled he had lost a bid to appeal. It was against the Home Office's decision to remove his automatic right to police protection after he left the working royal family. Now, a source told a US magazine, that Meghan wants him to be free from all of this. She wants him to live in a world where he is not burdened by this. But Harry is continuing his appeal to appeal the decision after losing several rounds against the Home Office. Does he just need to give it up, Lynn?
Yes, I think he needs to give it up. He has, and this is absolutely his choice, but he has done so much to berate and anger and upset the rest of the royals, even people in Britain. His book was very distasteful. Again, I'm all for freedom of speech. Do whatever it is that you want to do. But then deal with the backlash that comes with that, or whatever the eventualities with regards to your security. You have done many of your actions, whether it be Netflix series, books, whatever. You've generated enough income, pay for your own damn security.
It's not really about paying for the security, because he did offer to pay Metropolitan Police, I think, for security, but obviously they're not, you know, guns for hire. They're not bodyguards. Not guns for hire, bodyguards. You know, they're not for hire. But what he needs is the intelligence around it. So even a bodyguard isn't quite what Harry needs. Harry wants his bodyguard to have as much information and intelligence.
That's the risk that he took. The risk that he took was maybe if he was a little bit more... Maybe if he leaned in more to his family, maybe if he put things a bit more better, or put things right with his family, William, his father, maybe they would fight his corner. But where he's ostracised himself from the rest of the family to a degree, Meghan has also not been that favourable. He probably is alone in this. We have not seen, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but we've not seen many of the members of the royal family come out in support of this. And I'm sure if they did, there would be a different outcome. But when you do certain things, you have to be, you know, accountable and ready for what will ensue after.
So you think he's put his family through too much and now they've just closed the door on him? But that's not really, whether you've done something horrible or not, you should never be left unsafe somewhere, particularly if you're a member of the royal family, whether a working royal or not.
I'm going to sound a bit like you, Lynn, now and say this man needs to get a job.
Really?
He sounds to me like he's got a bit too much time on his hands, and this has become a sort of obsessive campaign he's on. And I have to say, sort of all the arguments that have been put forward against him getting police protection, I agree with. So basically the police said, look, he said, I want to pay the police to get protection. They've said that would be a terrible precedent. We can't just have rich people say, we're going to pay you X amount of money to give us more protection than the rest of the public.
Sense.
So this guy needs to get a job and hire some private security when he comes to the UK. If he needs some extra intelligence, he might need to hire some better private security. But he is just, I think probably what he does need to accept is he is just a celebrity now.
Yes.
He is, you know, and he has to live in the same way that other celebrities live.
That's the risk that he took.
You expect police protection in the same way that every other member of the public accepts police protection, but you're not going to get over and above that. And if you want over and above that, you're going to have to pay for it.
But is it different when you are the son of the king? Kaylee from London, what do you think about this? Should he let go of this court case?
Absolutely not. Firstly, there's absolutely no proof or evidence that Meghan wants him to drop any legal battles. So, firstly, that's a non-story.
It's a source.
And no, he should, if he wants to carry on the legal battles, let him. He's, as you said, the king's son, whether people like that or not. So surely he's entitled to security. He did offer to pay himself, so obviously it's not about the taxpayer paying for it. And yeah, everything that the guests have said is basically parroted from the British media, who obviously, for obvious reasons, don't like Harry because he's also suing them for hacking his phone.
Okay, well,
I think Lynn...
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Yeah, I think Lynn's forgetting that all of this outrage of Harry and Meghan happened way before the Oprah interview. So this hasn't been caused by the Oprah interview, because all the outrage and the toxicity from the British press happened way before his book and way before Oprah.
Yeah, well, they had already left by that point, absolutely. What would you say to that, Lynn?
But he could have had some strengthened support in his corner this time round, because he's done it several times, if he hadn't done those things. But if he's going to keep on, you know, sticking in the knife to his family and having all these little spats and things, why would anyone support that?
But I suppose that's the question, actually. His protection, is that about whether his family wants to protect him or not? Or is it whether, as a nation, we think that's the son of the king, that is a prominent figure, that's an individual who could be targeted, and we need to protect him?
Well, both him and Meghan have suggested that they don't want to be a part of this any longer, per se. And if you don't want to be a part of that, you are going to lose some privileges. He is now a celebrity. He has to do what other celebrities do. So he keeps on, he's a dog with a bone with this. Several times, they have obviously good reason. He has enough money. He's decided to take the American route of celebrity lifestyle, so do what other celebrities do.
I do wonder whether the reason he is like a dog with a bone is because of his mother. Now, his mother obviously left the royal family through divorce, and therefore she lost the royal security through that means. And maybe Harry feels like if she has still had that, she might still be around, and he doesn't want either himself or his wife or his children to face that same fate. Do you think that could play a part in it, Michael? And if it does that actually take it to a different angle where we should learn from our mistakes? This is what happens to key members of the royal family that leave, and they need the protection.
I mean, could that not just be, again, applied to all celebrities, though? I mean, because with Diana, I mean, it seems like her death was caught. I mean, I'm not sure what sort of the final investigations were, but sort of one hypothesis is it was the paparazzi.
Chasing them, yeah.
But you could, I mean, does Britney Spears then also need sort of royal level protection? I suppose we want our police to just protect everyone. And if they're being chased by paparazzi, maybe we need them to protect them on that basis, but not on the basis that they're the son of the king, I would say.
Well, the argument against that is that, no, Harry is not just like a normal celebrity because he was born into this. He was born into in a family...
What about Romeo Beckham? He was born into a famous family.
But his father wasn't. We didn't tax... His father wasn't funded by taxpayers. We have decided as a country that we are going to level up or put on a higher platform this one family, and we pay. The taxpayers funded. We have lots of big events with them. And they work for the country as mutually, it would seem. One person has left that. Does that not mean we owe them a little bit of protection because we put them in that platform in the first place?
I also think it's refreshing. I think it's refreshing for... I don't mind the royals. I think they're good for Britain. But I think, again, with certain activities, life choices he's made, he's kind of getting not treated like a normal person, but this unfettered privilege we see with the royals is being brought into question a little bit. It's like, OK, you are a royal, but if you decide to go your own way, then, you know, you can't be having that same level of royal treatment.
I mean, he also will get some protection because he's a citizen of, you know, everyone in the country gets some protection from the cops. That's how these things
and I
work.
believe that when he's at official events and things like that, or he's with the royal family, he gets the same level of protection. But if he wants to come here with his family, maybe to visit friends or to take part in some of his charity work, that's when he might be in trouble. Michelle, on Facebook, we have a lot of messages coming in on this. Honestly, I'm not keen on her, but he needs to let it go for his mental health. Oh, Michelle, just not keen on Meghan there. She often gets the brunt of whatever situation's occurring. She's now saying that he should lay off this court case, and still the first messages giving her a hard time. Hannah on Facebook says, I don't believe this for 1 minute. If she wanted him to leave in the past, she would have talked him into not writing the book or doing documentaries with Oprah Winfrey. Is that the same thing? You know, if you're doing documentaries and you are having an interview with Oprah, does that mean that you don't want security?
I think it feeds into what I said earlier. If he wasn't seen to turn his back on his family or those, I'm not saying he should not question the royal family and their long history of maybe negativity, prejudice, racism, whatever, but to monetize it and let it out to the world before having strong conversations with his family, again, again, this is an assumption, but you can't expect then the whole royal family to come out fighting for you and in support of you should have security like all the rest of us after stabbing the knife in the back, you know?
Do you think that the way he's portrayed his family and the way that he's been quite open about his mental health and the issues that he feels there are around his family should play a part in whether he gets security or not?
I think the issue is monetizing it, right? So I do think probably you have to make a decision. Are you going to sort of support your family and your lifestyle by being a part of... Now, I'm not really a royalist, but if you think it's a public service, being a part of that public service, or are you going to go your own way and make money in private industry? And I think Harry has gone his own way and made his money in private industry. He got paid for that Oprah interview, didn't he? And he gets paid to be on Spotify and whatever. So if he's going out in the world and making financial decisions based on how can I make the most money based on my fame, then I think it's difficult to say he gets all the privileges of being part of a public service.
I do just wonder whether you can ever actually leave the royal family. Once you're born into it, you are always a member of the royal family, whether working or not. I honestly, I don't know. It seems to be ongoing anyway. So we'll have to move on now. Later.